Achieving the socarrat is like you get the gold star of Spanish rice cookery. And it's not that easy to do. It feels so good when you're done cooking a paella or rice dish to scrape the bottom and see that perfect, even golden brown. Hi, I'm Katie Button, and today I'm showing you Sofrito. Right now, I'm going to show you how to use it in kind of its most classic iteration, which is a rice dish, arroz. I'm being very careful to call it arroz and not paella because I'm not using a paella pan and I'm not cooking it in the traditional methods or with traditional ingredients of paella valenciana. You can make this with anything. It's really important, that we try to use up all of our delicious leftovers and food that we have around. And I think that rice is the best vehicle for nothing to go to waste. Subscribe now so you don't miss the other two recipes, pescado con sofrito and also empanadillas. First thing we're gonna do is sear everything off to get it nice and brown. And that's gonna start developing our flavor in the pan. You would normally season your meat and stuff before, but since I've already cooked this, I already did that. So when you're looking at it, you're kind of thinking how much space do I have in my pan so I don't have too many things in it. So I've got about 5 asparagus spears. I'm gonna put these oyster mushrooms in there because they're maybe my favorite mushrooms. I also have a turnip. The thing about a real paella pan, which is wonderful for cooking on either a gas paella burner or outside on the grill, is that it bows ever so slightly. It's not totally flat. And so when you're cooking inside, it's much easier if you have a flat, wide pan, which is why I'm using this cast iron skillet. The other nice thing about a cast iron skillet is it retains its heat really well. It cooks evenly, and it should make that really nice crispy rice on the bottom called the socarrat. So now I'm gonna add the vegetables and brown those. You can see that I don't have that much vegetables in my pan. These are the things that are gonna be on top of the rice, and you don't want it to be too crowded, which is why it's kind of perfect for leftovers. And I'm not cooking the vegetables all the way through. I'm just kind of browning everything, and then we're gonna add them back in at the end. Take a big spoonful of sofrito, and I'm gonna deglaze the pan. I have a little bit of sherry wine here that I'm gonna put in. Sherry smells so good. Now I have vegetable stock, and we're gonna bring this up to a simmer. When you're seasoning your stock, you want it to be salty, okay, before you add your rice. You're trying to season 1.5 cups of rice, a paella style rice like calaspara or bomba. You could use arborio. You just need a short grain rice. Boiling, add rice. Now at this point, you wanna bring your heat up to an even, pretty rapid simmer. Make sure your rice is spread out in your pan evenly. Now I'm gonna put back my chicken pieces. To go with this rice dish, the arroz, I'm gonna make an alioli. Traditionally in Catalonia, it's made with just garlic and olive oil, and they're just emulsified in a mortar and pestle. I'm gonna do a very quick version, which uses an egg and makes it more like a mayonnaise base. Take 1 clove of garlic, add an egg, a large pinch of salt, and a squeeze of lemon juice. I'm using Arbequina olive oil because it's milder. If you use an olive oil that's too spicy or something, the end result will be bitter. I have this little neat contraption that adds my oil slowly for me. Beautiful. Perfect. The alioli is right if it's garlic punching you in the face. That's how it should be. It should be kind of spicy. The one important thing you're not supposed to do is touch the rice. You can see all of this foamy stuff that's kind of coming up around the edge. That's what you want. You want there to be a film that develops on top of the rice. And the film is the sofrito kind of rising and mixing with the oil and the delicious flavors from the stock. And if you touch it, then you mess up the film. As the stock like cooks down, there's a change in sound. It's kind of turning into like a snap, crackle, pop kind of thing. When that happens, you can put your other vegetables in. So at this point, what we're trying to do is develop the socarrat. And it's not that easy to do. Achieving the socarrat is like you get the gold star of Spanish rice cookery. You have to use your senses, okay? So you're listening with your ears because the sound is changing. Your nose will be like toasty, and then you'll get that hint of maybe starting to get a little too dark, and you know you need to turn it off. Actually, we're gonna turn it off. I'm gonna let this settle for a few minutes. The rice texture looks awesome too, and it will finish cooking the rice as well. If you're cooking your rice till all the way tender before you pull it off the pan, you will end up with overcooked rice, no doubt. Okay, the arroz dish is done. That is the socarrat. It's the best part of the rice. I'm gonna eat mine with a little bit of this alioli. I'm gonna put a little bit more on it. Nailed it. The rice, it's got just texture and bite through it. It's not mushy at all. And the flavor is really like nutty and rich. It's just like hands down delicious. If you guys make my dishes, please comment below. I'd love to hear how it went. Subscribe now so you don't miss the other two recipes, pescado con sofrito and also empanadillas, small empanadas. Subscribe now, don't miss out. I have to say, this is like, I'm not joking, this turned out really, really good.